Dr. Weaver, who was Greenville City, the other gentlemen, our aldermen, who are present. And before we start, we will have prayer, and we will ask our distinguished chief if he will lead us in prayer today.
Remember, before we go to the prayer, if I may.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Of course, last week we lost two distinguished people from the city of Canton. Both worked in the city of Canton. One worked in law enforcement, and his name was Sergeant Sharp.
Yes, sir.
We lost him on last week, so just a moment of silence for him. And also, we lost a distinguished person, first African American superintendent in Canton Public Schools, Joe Lewis. Galloway, I couldn't get it. I didn't even went to his film, but yeah, Joe Lewis Galloway, two distinguished gentlemen in the city of Canton. So at this particular time, I'd just like to ask for a moment of silence. Okay,
Let me pray. Oh, gracious Father, we just want to thank you for life. Just thank you for seeing another day, Father, that we haven't seen before. I ask that you bless everyone here individually as well as their families, Father. Bless our mayor and board of aldermen that they will do the business of the city, Father. Protect us all, Father. That one can't fall for the other, Father. Continue to lead and guide us all. All these blessings I ask in our son Jesus' name, in which we pray. Amen.
Amen. Alderman Marquis Blunt.
And Mayor Trula, again, before you start, if I may.
Yes, sir.
All right. You know, politics is an amazing thing. And I don't know if this is a good sign or not, but we know today that Kamala Harris picked her vice president choice. And his first name is Tim. I don't know if that's a sign or not, but we're gonna fly on that. So, the gentleman from Minnesota, if I'm not mistaken. And also in politics, first African American president, Barack Hussein Obama, became the president of the United States. But with that, in line in politics, our leader of this particular city shares the same birthday. So his birthday was on Sunday. We're a little late with it because we're just getting to meet, and I was not around last night. So if you all would please stand and let's sing Happy Birthday to Dr. True. And which version? The short version. Short version. I don't know the short version.
Happy birthday to you.
There you go.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
All right. So that's on there on behalf of the Board of Aldermen, City Clerk, and the attorney from the city. We'd like to present you this cake. Don't eat it all up. If you like me, you can't eat too much of it.
Thank you. I want to thank the Board of Aldermen and all those who are involved in remembering this day. I cannot tell you the number of years ago that I was born.
And with that, more sweets, natural and unnatural. Again, happy
Thank
birthday
you.
on behalf of the Board of
That
Aldermen.
is fun. Y'all love the man.
And the attorney, happy birthday. Fruit went up this year, fella.
For those of you who want to reach my age, there are a couple of things that you need to do. Certainly you want to avoid stress. And I know all of us, particularly a lot of Fred, and I think the seniors on the board. But I hope I'm not leaving out all of them out yet. But it's great to be, as the preacher said, above ground and not below ground. It's great to be able to walk and talk and see and have camaraderie and joy with your friends. For all of you who thought of me on this moment, including all of them, Les Payne, certainly.
Happy birthday.
It's very appreciated, and thank all of you. And I will enjoy this fruit, all of them. Thank you.
You're very welcome. All right. You good? No more interruptions, man.
Alderman, I'm not sure. Here we go. Alderman Marquis Blunt.
Present.
Alderman Rodriguez Brown. Alderman Fred Esco.
Present.
Alderwoman Monica Gilkey. Alderman Les Penn.
Present.
Alderman Tim Taylor.
Present.
Alderman Lafayette Wade.
Present.
With that being said, the mayor hereby calls for adoption of the agenda. Yeah, I see it. They don't have one.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we approve, adopt the agenda as written.
Do we have a second?
Second with an unreadiness.
Man,
I second with an unreadiness.
there's an unreadiness.
Is the fire contract on there?
Yes, it says the fire protection services between
Yeah,
us
okay,
and
okay, all
city.
right. Just
Okay.
make sure.
Yeah, it's on there.
There's an unreadiness by Alderwoman Gilkey of Ward 6.
I have one if we don't have the same one.
Couple, well, I have a couple. The first one is, clean as a whistle,
Man,
clean as a whistle. I don't see him on the agenda.
he's not on the agenda.
I didn't see it like that.
No, he's not on the agenda. I'm gonna ask that we place him on the agenda. We asked him to bring us quotes today.
Yeah, that's right, you did.
My second one would be on the consent agenda. We need to remove the authorized grass cutting at the TWL building.
On the consent agenda,
Yes, number 3.
authorized grass cutting to the other building.
Yes, what I asked yesterday was if we can get somebody to contact the TWO owners to get it cut and cleaned up.
But let me ask you a question.
Yes.
You want the motion to be authorized Mr. Colfer to contact the GLL building?
That should be nineteen.
Yeah, that should
Yeah,
be.
thank you.
They
Yeah.
decided because they haven't kept their end of the bar of the video that was set before I came to the office, which was to keep the building clean.
Okay, did you just want to take it off?
Yes.
Okay.
Number 2, we need the amount added. On consent agenda, no, item number 2.
Does anybody know what the amount is?
$20.
$20 yesterday.
20,000?
$20
$20 per stall
per stall,
instead of 20.
per day.
Yeah, per day.
Yeah, that's how it's gonna happen. Attorney Banks, can you explain why you do that? As far
Well,
as the stop?
I put a usage agreement between them and the Hunters of Jumpers Association, since it was kind of for an undefined amount of time. I just did a usage agreement that I sent out, for the Hunters of Jumpers, kind of like how we do this Vanderbilt, when people do things, the back arena.
Yeah.
So I just did a usage agreement, put that amount on there.
I'm trying to get clearance as to what's the ask amount of the building.
The ask amount that we agreed about yesterday was $20 per day per stall.
Okay, $20 per day.
So that's in the usage agreement.
I don't know what the number
Okay,
is.
yeah,
I hadn't seen it.
She just said at 4:30.
So she is saying she agreed $20 per day
Right.
per stall.
Yeah,
Yes.
$20 per day, okay, we'll make sure that $20 per day.
All right.
Yeah, I did a usage agreement.
And then she
Because
agreed.
I don't know how long they're using it, and I put a little blank for the time, but they're gonna use it for an extended amount. It's just for future events, so they're gonna use it for an extended amount of time. Just to do a dissolved and that, you take that out. That's why I left the question on that one. He probably doesn't, I'm pretty sure he probably would not, but, that's why I highlighted that.
Alderman.
That concludes my unread.
Alderwoman Gilbert and Reddit and Remedy. Is there any additional?
Yeah, mine was the, item 20, for the Mississippi, Development Authority, Dr. Latanya Lewis,
Item 20?
item 20.
Yes, sir.
Attorney Banks, are we doing a usage agreement for that, or are we using the agreement that, they use for the multi-purpose? How we gonna handle that one?
The contract association,
Right,
I did theirs just as a donation, because it's only for the first week in October and September and October.
Right.
So I did theirs as like a kind of donation, how you all normally do it.
okay,
The multipurpose complex.
okay. So they don't have to have insurance or anything like that, right?
If the Davis requires them to come, I mean, they need to provide that.
Right, I think that's what he wanted to make sure, that they had, their own insurance and all too.
Yeah,
Well,
and that's why I
even
did the same thing
insurance.
for the
Right.
jumpers. If he requires them to have it, then he can still require them to have it.
Okay.
Same thing with them. If he requires them to have it, as far as the other agreement goes, he needs to require them to have it. But the rest of it is an in-kind donation.
Okay.
We're going to the 1731, but you have contractors coming in from all over.
Right.
So you're advertising the city of Canton. So I did 1731 as a donation, and it's only for a short amount of time.
Okay. All right, and my last one, Mayor, was to, item 7, consider and approve advertising for grass cutting.
Item 7?
Item 7, yes, sir. I thought we had, decided to bid grass cutting out. Did we, Attorney, did we vote on
We
that?
said we were.
Yeah.
That was
Yes.
Toby.
Yeah, I asked the clerk about that, and I was like, did we vote on that? Because you sent me a text last week, me and Sierra, about two items. One was grass cutting, and one was, another bid. And I asked her, did we approve that? I didn't think that we approved that.
We did.
Somebody double said it, we didn't approve the grass cutting, so it needs to be on the agenda to approve that.
Okay.
Y'all want that?
With the integration of Allen, if I may, I'm sorry, I apologize.
No, go ahead.
All right, with the integration of Allen Davis taking on all of the cutting in the city of Canton, and I think, last night from what I heard, he's also gonna request 6 other employees, which would be enough to do exactly what they need to do, and I think Tony Cofer and his people were gonna handle the bigger ditches and things of that nature. But, I saw today over at, fire station number 1 and the police station, that big ditch with all that stuff going up out of it.
Right.
I saw Public Works tackling that today. So, that's why I know we didn't go forward with, hiring a grass cutting crew. We're gonna put all that on Allen, and that's why the 2 people from Public Works went into, Parks and Recreation. So, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
There's a
So,
duplication.
excuse me just a second. So is it the, I'm sorry, is it the suggestion to delete item 7?
You want to talk about?
Huh?
I still think we can talk about it.
Just leave it
Yeah,
there?
leave it, I think we should be talking about it.
Okay.
Number 23 is a duplication of number 13. So we need to, take out 23 off.
Take 23 off. Okay.
Sure.
Is there anything else?
I have one, Mayor.
Yes, sir.
On last night, I was on the phone and I was discussing items in old business, and you know, here it is, on the anniversary of 5 years, we've not seen anything done with the movie theater down in the Hollow, nor with the Jackson Brothers service station. The last I heard from Court Services, that there was a continuation on it, How long does the continuation last? Is it gonna last the next 5 years, next 10 years? These are eyesores. I'm glad to hear our lady Gilbert bring up TWL, because the last time we put power into them, they came and they did the modifications, and it looked good. So what do we do? And I understand that the movie theater is part of the historic district. It ought to look that way. I just believe that. And if we continue to abandon our thoughts and our ideas for the city, we're gonna continue to crumble and nothing will ever get done. So I know I'm out here saying these things, and I know I put this on my shoulders, but something has to be done. With all the attention that's going forward, if you listen to talk radio, they do admit that the hall was something similar to Parish Street. That it would look like anybody's ever occupied it with any type of business other than the business that's down there now. That's the sandwich shop. So I hope collectively we can get together and find out just how long this stuff hangs around on paperwork and trying to get something done. And I know TWL, the last time we sent a letter to them, they came up here with a group of lawyers and they cleaned it up. And I think that same system should be working regardless of who they are. So I just want to say that I don't want it on the agenda. We'll tackle it next time we meet and just see where we are. Court services said that was a continuation. And that was never brought to this board and discussed. Why? And how can people call in and just get a continuation just that quick? If we're gonna clean the city up, we've got to leave no stone unturned and look at all of the dilapidated processes that we have going on. We have investors that are thinking about investing in the collar, but yet nothing is being done. I guess what we're waiting on at Jackson Brothers service station are the little kids who are walking home from school, get curious, somebody falls down in there and get hurt or lose their life, God forbid, then we react. That'd be wrong when we can get ahead of it right now. Thanks.
Well, let me just mention this, and that is, Dr. Anderson, all of we were at this meeting, this board has the authority to make decisions whether a public service and thus it's a detriment to the health and welfare of the citizens. And that was not Mrs. Extended from the Senate Institute. I think the gentleman's name was Green, I believe. If you can call him tomorrow and see if we can find that statute. I think that what happened is that instead of us allowing adjudication to go through court, there are things that we have the statutory authority to do. I just need to locate that statute as a guideline. All of them tell us already that this is repetitive and it's been going on just too long on court items. Okay. Where are we?
And one more thing, Doc, I wanted to add. I don't know who we need to contact, but there's a horrible smell throughout the city early in the morning. And I don't know how people can stand the smell when they're over there on that track. It's a pig smell. I don't know if it's coming from the lagoon. I don't know if it's coming from Pecos. I really don't know. And some Sundays and weekends, it's even worse. I don't know if we need to contact the EPA or whoever is running Pecos down there. I talked to Howard to see just what's going on, because I don't know if anybody else experienced the smell. I mean, you probably do. And
I've been housed about it.
yeah, it is a horrible smell. And I know it's not on the agenda, but I think it's something that we need to look into, because we don't know if this is a mysterious smell, and in years from now, we're growing extra heads and arms, we don't know. I mean, if you don't jump on top of these things, there's no telling what's going to happen down the road. So I don't know if we need to contact the EPA or whoever, but we need to find out and get a air test done and see what's going on. Because if the chicken smell like that, all of us need to stop eating.
All right.
grass cutting.
Sir?
You talked about item 7, the grass cutting.
Yeah, I think we said we were gonna discuss it when it's time to do it.
Right.
Okay.
And then on the
The one about the,
one with TWL,
yeah,
Removed.
on the consent agenda.
Yeah, scratch that,
Yeah.
one of that is,
yeah, take it off and send it to you. You still need to discuss.
We can put it as a discussion item, but I think I just need to, well, people that need to hear it ain't here, so
Right.
what do you do?
Right. Well, again, we need to send a certified letter to the property owners again, having them to appear at the next board meeting. And it's one thing simply repetitively appear and actually for them to have a maintenance program.
Sure.
And that's what we need to demand of them. So let me know in which direction you might want to go.
Sir, I'm gonna ask that we have it as an agenda item for discussion, so some actions can be taken on it.
Okay,
So we won't have this problem later.
okay. Alderman Ray, you want to give me a bundle motion?
Yes, motion that we add clean out the portion to the agenda for the pressure washing of the city hall and the sidewalks, and to add the grass cutting of TWL to our regular agenda items and remove from consent agenda. That's the motion.
Do we have a second?
And remove 23, yeah.
I have not heard this. What's your motion again?
The motion to add clean out the parcel to the agenda for pressure washing of City Hall and the sidewalks, as well as remove item 3 from the consent agenda to regular agenda item, also talking about the grass cutting at TWL building, and also item number 23 will be removed because it's a duplicate with item 30.
So, I know, why you want to move?
So we can bring it back to just the regular agenda.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, because we should make them clean that
Yeah,
up.
it's on the consent, so we're just gonna move it to the regular.
Okay.
Right. That's the
All in
motion.
favor?
My ready
I
is
did.
ready. Okay.
I think Alderman Wilson made the
Okay.
motion. I mean second.
I did.
All in favor?
Give the aye.
Wells, aye.
So say what?
Motion carried. The agenda is hereby adopted. At this point in time, I'm gonna ask, Dr. Anderson to read 4, 6, and 7, and 8.
Number 5 says the adoption. Number 5 says the adoption of claims, contractual claims docket.
Yes, number 6.
Oh, no, number 6 says authorize and approve renaming a portion of West North Street or Cross Street in honor of Reverend Dr. W.L. Johnson Senior via resolution. Number 7 says consider and approve advertising for grass cutting service in the city of Canton. Number 7 says authorize and approve 2024 zoning map.
Are there any questions?
Number 8, I'm sorry.
And you got it. Are there any questions about anything, item 4 through 8?
As we discussed last night, or yesterday, for item number 6, I have been asked if we could potentially, rename a portion of either Cross Street or, a portion of West North Street, being that, Reverend Dr. W.L. Johnson Senior was a pastor of Mount Zion for more than 50 years. And the request is to bestow that honor upon him by, renaming a segment of either of those streets out there. So I wanted to, bring that forward
So
today.
let me ask the question, is it all across the street
No,
and a part of West North?
the it's a part of each.
Okay.
No, it's a part of either.
A part of it.
Yeah, the section for West North would be the part that's right there from the tracks to where the end of where Canal Street is.
Yes, ma'am.
Front Street would be from the corner of West North to, Bone, I think it's Bone. Yeah, I think it's name.
Correct, right.
Yeah, I think it's the corner, right behind where the church, where the church is, where the church. I think it's Bone. So it'll be a segment, it won't be the whole street.
Why not the whole street? Going all the way down to the projects. I'm just asking.
I mean.
Now, northwest goes in front of the church.
Yeah.
It goes all the way down
So
past.
it'll be either or.
Yeah.
Cross Street goes all the way down.
Go all the way down to the north.
Is it
Yes.
Washington Street?
No,
Northwest?
Frost Street goes all the way down to George Washington, yeah.
Yeah, so my suggestion, and I would tell me I don't vote, would be to do one or the other in total.
Whatever, whatever. This is the board.
It's your church is involvement. Let's go.
You said much, you told me?
Yeah, he's big over there.
Oh, yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, it's zero, so.
I mean, we all know the contributions that he not only made to, Mount Zion, but what he has done for the community as a whole. So, you know.
And I would support all they give his, statement with, a turn to the mechanism and agreeing with Dr. Truly, why not name the whole street out from end to end? Cause it's gonna turn into Harvey Watkins on one end, and on the other end, it's gonna turn into, what is that? Cross Street, what is that going?
Frost Street runs on the south.
It's coming from the south, oh yeah, cross, yeah. So that whole deal that the church faces, she bears his name, I think,
So, our West North
all West North.
would be Dr. W. Johnson,
From Union Street all the way.
all the way to the project.
Yeah, I mean, with the,
River track, right?
I'm sorry?
From the tracks,
From the river.
Okay,
Yeah,
from
The
tracks,
tracks are my union, not union.
Railroad Street, this railroad between.
yeah, that's what, yeah, that's
Yeah,
what,
railroad
yeah,
street
that's
to
right.
project.
okay, so the other part will remain
Will remain, I mean.
with, yeah.
West North.
Yeah.
The past boy.
Railroad Street past Boyd Street.
And then right at our
And
mark.
up at R.B. Harris Drive.
And that would be a significant dedication.
Harvey Watkins.
I mean, Hard Watkins Drive is on there.
Yeah, Harvey Watkins, because that, and that curve really
The
turns.
railroad to my block.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, and you know, with the edifice that they have over there, that nice edifice that they have.
Can I make an alternate suggestion?
Oh, you
That's a lot of street.
Okay, that's a lot of street?
I said that's a lot of streets.
Okay,
So why don't we do from the corner where, Martin Luther King down to Railroad Street?
Where?
Martin Luther King, right there where the store, where the old and cheap store was.
oh, you can cut it off there?
Stop at the stop
Stop
sign.
at the stop
Okay.
sign.
So we're gonna go from Martin Luther King to Hard Rock?
To, Martin Luther King.
To Railroad.
To Railroad.
Okay. Chief, how does that work? Is he still back there?
Mhm.
Yeah. Chief, how does that work for your officers?
That's fine, cause it's still gonna be called the same name, it's gonna be a while before they
They changed.
start calling
Yeah, you gotta get
Dr.
that
W.
one.
Johnson. So it'll be fine, if y'all come from, the store there, Martin Luther King, and go to the railroad track, which is Railroad Street right there anyway, so be fine.
I knew you would be in agreement because that's your church, that's what you said, right?
Yes, sir.
I got you.
And that's also the mayor's church.
No, sir.
Oh, there, okay, I saw you the mayor over there.
That's name.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's.
Okay, that, so, read,
I mean, my motion would be for that particular one, I'll be positive with all the things.
ma'am, I'm sorry.
Okay, for that one, I would say, authorize and approve renaming, our motion would be to, rename a segment of West North Street, starting at Railroad Street, Railroad Tracks, down to Martin Luther King.
Okay.
Martin Luther King, to be renamed in honor of Reverend Dr. Billy L. Johnson Sr.
Do we have a second?
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
You know, second.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just cancel the bundle.
Yeah.
It did, just cancel the bond.
They cancel the bundle.
What did y'all say?
They cancel the bundle.
Yeah.
So they're doing it
Not on everything.
on
One by one.
individual basis.
Oh, that's take it against, yeah, the bundles that cancel.
I don't like problems.
Because you have some, yeah, I don't know.
So what will it be called? Drive, Boulevard, what? Parkway, what?
Reverend Dr. W. L. Johnson Senior Street.
Street?
Avenue.
Avenue. Drive.
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 Y'all like, they like drive.
What we gonna name our Fred? He didn't pop it.
Ray got 30 more years.
I gotta get close.
All right, you've heard the motion, all in favor?
Give ya.
What else?
Tim Taylor.
Let's go.
Blind.
Motion carried.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
You may as well go to item 7.
So we're going back to five.
Yeah, give me a motion for item 5, please.
Mayor, motion that we, accept the claims and contractual documents.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it was I'm ready.
The second is unread.
I know on the phone, if I may make,
Yes, sir.
I know on the phone yesterday, we were looking at the, bills that we're accruing from, the old hair Chevrolet place, and how we're gonna remedy this? We're gonna continue or what? At another date, or what?
The old hair Chevrolet.
Yeah, what's the name of the business now?
Some kind
Yeah,
of.
tomorrow.
Delta Monthly, yeah.
Delta Monthly now. Oh, a lot of my equipment goes there.
Yeah, and I did hear Chief talk about Roger Gas. It was going in and out, so, with some of these bills they're asking on for right here, and I was just wondering if there was any more thought given as to, we want to keep the business in Canton, but we can't afford to be just, taking advantage of like a, savings and loan or payday lending business.
Well, one of the things that we might want to consider for a point of interest is what employees do we have that could do this work easily. And I would imagine you probably can. One I understand is Joe Davis and some of you may know of someone else who can do this kind of work in the evening. Probably be charging them off for that.
Yeah, just a consideration, because if you look at the bills, they are high.
Mayor, if I may,
Yes, ma'am.
having further discussion, because there was something we were on top of that. Can we add it to the agenda?
Okay.
Motion that we add that to the agenda.
Yeah.
Right.
Cause we did say last night that we were gonna have
Right,
it
talk
as
about
a
it.
vendor, allow Chief Hagan as vendor.
Okay.
But and what you
Roger that.
Roger Dabbs.
Roger there.
Uh-huh.
He's a mechanic.
No, that's our.
Car dealership.
Oh, right. Okay. Give me a motion to add.
I'm motion that we add,
Well, we have been notified.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
We have been five first.
Claims document.
Claim document, let's go.
All in favor?
All in favor of the claim contractual document?
Yeah, mine ready.
All utilities and residents has been remitted. All in favor of item 5? There's been a motion and a second.
Wells,
Tim Taylor.
Let's go.
Hear your name.
Blind eye.
Hand name.
What is that, 3-2?
4-2.
4-2? Motion carried. You may go on and add that item
Okay.
now.
I am I motion that we would, add consideration of having Roger Dab as a vendor, to that act.
Is he here?
No.
Chief brought it up.
Probably information. Oh, okay, I use the right name.
Roger Dab is a dealership?
Yes,
He's not a human?
no,
Oh.
somewhere,
Somewhere, yeah.
We need a human.
no, we need a company.
Somebody like Joe Davis. Wait, yeah, go ahead.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
You'll be,
Go ahead, Ron. Let's go ahead.
To Taylor.
Motion carried. So now we are at, we unbundled. Consider an approval of advertising for grass cutting services in the city of Canton. I think someone mentioned about bidding this out.
Well, I know we had talked about.
And then the alternative
Yeah.
discussion was with the additional employees that Mr. Davis has, along with Mr. Tony Cofer, an alternative pathway. So we're looking at two pathways here, one bidding it out versus it being done in-house.
Well, if we're able to,
Yes, sir.
if we're able to, get, additional employees that can get the job done, we can do it in-house, but if not, then we're gonna end up like we previously been, at some point we need to consider bidding it out. We just, you know, previously, we just haven't had any good luck with keeping up with the cemetery and all the other crap.
Yeah. And if I may, Mayor?
All of them.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm asking Mr. Davis to come forward.
Time for them, that is.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Mayor.
There's a smile from y'all, all right? Here we are in the grass cutting now, as we annex, and I think I put in my budget to a side cutter, 6 employees. And I think if you desire to give the equipment and the manpower, you will see the accomplishment. But if you do not get the side cutter, the truck, and the equipment and the manpower, like the mayor just said, you'll be where you are, and when you can't start cutting grass in May. You have to do some preventive maintenance before it germinates. So when it's dormant, you still can do some things, litter control, things of that nature. So that's what we are. If you guys desire to make sure the grass is cutting out in the community, city of Canton. As I stated earlier, Johnson grass grow a different, so you have to spray different chemicals and things to accomplish the goal on the desire that you're trying to do. So either you can bid it out, or you look at from the side cutter, all the open ditches. You cannot run a weed eater constantly trying to catch up with a side cutter. And that the one that we have getting fixed at the vendor, that it just have maxed out. It stay in the shop every other week, and so you just need something that is definitely one, because we're not accomplishing the goal of, I can't say somehow taking over now, you have less complaints on something, but you have to have, as summer increase, and now I come next month, you will see a decline in grass, but we still have to see amendment, some things, because we've been cutting grass, but as far as I think you guys first gave me the terminology, y'all want to manicure it, and it would never get manicured at the rate we're going, because that takes edging and takes people of knowing, and then also it's training. So we have gone through the training process on the employees that we have, and so when you're trying to do what we're trying to get to, making our city look better and be a so that is something we saw. I had so in order for our ditches, and it's a combination of a lot of things when you use the terminology, grass cutting and manicure.
So let me say this. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. So, back to this equipment and manpower, if you gotta put it in the budget, and you should still change from in the next budget year to have the goal accomplished.
Well, let me say this, because I think that one of the factors that you talked about was a side cutter. And I think you talked about something else.
Yes, sir.
One of the things that I want to employee has a lackadaisical mood and a lackadaisical attitude. You have to have passion and motivation in order to get this work done. It just can't be run-of-the-mill, haphazard, I get to it when I get to it. And I know that you are a strong leader, and you always have been, but we've hired so many folks who just have a stand-back mood and a stand-back attitude, and as if this job is actually not important. Folks come to work when they get ready to come to work, find all kind of reasons to take long lunch breaks, find all kind of reasons not to be at work. And so I'm just wondering, we don't have a system where we actually measure interest when employees are hired. Work ethics when an employee is hired. I just asked you, as a director of these 6 employees, to try to use your experience and look at their work ethics and their passion and their concern as it relates to them being hired here as a member of the Canton family. So it's critically important when we're talking about aesthetics and beautification and artistry that we look good, and you guys are the ones who make us look good, and if not, then of course we hear from the people, and of course I know you already have in place the strategy of going from one point to the other in your grad study. So, and I just know that one, you do the right thing, and you choose the right folks that best fit
Yes, sir.
what you want done. Other than that, I don't have anything else to say. Yes, sir.
And if you notice, as Attorney Pepper, as Mr. Davis said, that the complaints are not as bad as they used to be, which means that we're catching up with the threshold to some degree. Public Works has 2 employees, and I'm telling you this because we got Ricky, he's been flat-footed getting it. I don't know how often you travel King Ranch Road and George Washington. You see that stays pretty much leveled down. And I know they got some more work going back east. Same thing with Public Works. It seems like they're doing more, with Parks and Recreation, they're doing more with less. And it seems that they're interested in what they're doing. I know you have these talks and you talk about the cosmetic outlook of the city. That depends on you all to get it done. And I think those type of motivational speeches are truly helping because all people want to know, and I'm quoting Local Winter now, do you see us? Do you hear us? Because what we do matters. And I think you're sending that message in a very positive way, end quote, as a matter of fact. So with that, and bringing people in, because it's going to take more to tackle what we're doing. And what you're doing, the ditch down by the police station I was telling you about, and they tackle that, they're tackling that, and I know the equipment that they need. And I kind of frown on the equipment usage because I know once upon a time, Chief Kenneth Pierce and Alden Wells got that whole ditch by me. Say, what y'all do with it? We use sling blade.
The weed eater attachment.
Yeah.
The covers on the weed eaters.
And they knocked it down. And I saw Ms. Reeves out there today, and hats off to her for what she's doing under your tutelage and your supervision. So what I'm saying, we should be trying to build the city on every level. And the more people that contribute to making the city cosmetically look good, I think pride will be instilled back into the people. And I think that would be the essence of what change will come, and very positive change. I digress. Thanks, sir.
Thanks, sir. Thank you.
As I said earlier, the vegetation control starts in March. So if you do not do what you call a controlling of the ditch spraying in March before it begin to germinate, you will not have those problems. If you spray those 80% of the ditches in March, or come back late August and spray them again, because when it goes into seeds, basically it goes into seeds now. So most of them, then the seeds drop down, then you have a big situation. So that's what we are with grass control and grass. So there's a component how you must tackle this situation. Alright?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Davis.
That's all right, yeah,
What was the motion?
We just have a discussion.
Oh, just a discussion. Sir?
No action.
Okay. Item 8, authorizing approval of 2024 zoning map. There's a copy of the ordinance in the package. Has everyone seen the ordinance? Has everyone seen the zoning map?
So good.
All in favor?
Compare.
Motion carried. I'm sorry, Alderman Blunt, motion carried. Dr. Anderson will read item 9 through 11.
Item 9, authorizing approval Wagner Engineering for tax order number 18, City of Canton, Fulton Street and Center Street drainage, network mapping and refinement in an hourly not to exceed the amount of $58,320. Number 10, authorizing approval Wagner Engineering for task order number 19, City of Canton for IBD technical support service, providing technical support to Mellon Garrett in the development of a commodity bid for general ditch cleaning construction services for an hourly not to exceed amount of $2,500. And number 11, consider and approve the ratification of Penfield construction contract for Parker Street and Garfield Street pursuant to Wagner's engineering recommendations of the July 16, 2024 regular meeting of the board and Alderman see agreement attached.
I just have one question, on item 10, that means not to exceed an hourly, it does not mean not to exceed an hourly rate of 2,500, just total, right?
The total will not exceed $2,500.
I'm clear.
I need to add something.
Ma'am?
We may need to add total in with the
Okay, you can add more than exceed. A total amount of 2,500, a total amount of 58,000, that's what all of them guilty is saying. Do we have a motion?
I got unwritten this, so I
Is
can't.
it readiness by
No, I can't make it until we get a motion in a second.
Or do we have a motion?
That's right, because all the wells otherwise is out of order.
Right, that's right. Well, I'm motion,
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
have unwritten
On readiness by Alderman Wells.
Okay, man, looking at our task orders and as I said, we've been paying, Wagner, as they perform task orders, but, I think we just need to tighten up on the time from task order to turning dirt. We've been here, almost 5 years, and they've been with us how many years? 4? 3 to 4 years. 3 to 4 years, and we just haven't had a lot of, we hadn't had any dirt turn on the projects. People like to see that, and I think we need to, if we're gonna be successful in the coming years, depending on, no matter who's here, we need to close that gap from task to dirt. Because that's what, our constituents, we tell them about projects, we tell them what we have in planning, and they get tired of hearing planning. They get tired of hearing what we're doing, and you're telling them the truth, but it's that we don't pay at the end, we pay as we go, but we still have, so that's my biggest concern right now, going forward. We need to make sure we close that gap. It's even been stated that maybe we need to look at an in-house engineer, somebody that we would hire for the city. But, that may be an alternative, but we need to, if we're gonna stay, we need to make sure we close this gap, because people want to see results. And, taxpayers' money. I know some things take time, but they've been they've been constantly hounding us on certain things, about when this X, Y, Z go out. That's my reference.
What's the commodity bid?
Commodity bid.
Mm-hmm.
What is it, man?
Come on.
Yeah, I see a word, it says COMMODITY.
What number?
Okay, that's.
Oh,
you're on 10.
It says commodity bid.
Right.
Trying to figure out what that is.
I thought it was something in that task order.
Ma'am,
I thought it was something in that task order.
it is in tax order,
Yeah.
but I don't know what it is.
So we were approached by Melvin Garrett, to assist with, we understood that the city had, a desire to pursue, construction services to assist, to basically augment public works staff with performing ditch maintenance services. And so we were approached by Melvin Garrett to assist with developing a scope of work and a bid form and a specification that the city can utilize to advertise a bid for those services. And so that's what our task order was, for us to assist Melvin Garrett with developing that bid package to be turned over to the city to solicit those services. This is something, that we've seen other, municipalities and counties do, but typically we do commodity bids. Historically, we've seen commodity bids being, solicited for materials like concrete, millings, drainage pipe, traffic sign materials. But within the last few years, cities and municipalities have begun to solicit commodity bids for, labor services. And so we had that discussion with Mr. Garrett, so that's what that's.
So a commodity bid is something, although the process might be different, but we hired Mr. Glenn Cotton who cleaned our ditches and another gentleman, I forgot his name. So under this, Mr. Nichols, so under this process, the bid is still out.
Right, so whatever bid they submit for those items on the bid form for laborer, for traffic control, flagger, for dump truck, for, excavator, that bid, what they bid is locked in at their price for whatever term of contract that the city executes with that bid.
So let me ask you a question, who writes the bid?
That's what we've provided, the information that would go in that.
Into the bid?
Yes.
Okay, I got it.
Right, we weren't asked to facilitate the bid process like we've done with the capital improvement projects.
All right.
We were only asked to provide the technical language so we need to go in there.
Okay, thank you. Do we have a motion?
We have a motion second,
Yeah.
man.
All in favor?
Let's go ahead.
Wells, aye.
Here, yeah.
Yes, Suzanne.
Motion carried.
I know the motion has been taken and seconded. Now, Will's, brought up some points about turning dirt and where we are after, what, 4 years, 4 or 5 years? Because they came in on my second year. Ms. Warren, you wanna give us an update, an outcast on where we are, as to where we're going? And, if there's a timeline that can be met regarding? And Mr. Clark, I'm sorry.
Yes, sir, so.
You didn't come to my cleanup, so I said you call.
Oh, gosh.
So, appreciate the opportunity to address the board and definitely take into consideration the comments that have been provided. And going back to, I think we executed our general services agreement with the city, I think in 2021, somewhere along that time.
Yeah, 21.
Right, and it's a task order-based, contract, as you all know. And so, since then, as we stated then, we were committed to working in partnership with the city officials to execute your vision in terms of providing the services that the citizens of Canton deserve and that they're looking for. And so since then, I think we've been 19 task orders. Didn't come prepared tonight to give a full report on that, but I think those task orders, for transparency, I think those task orders total a sum of around maybe 1.5 million, something like that total over the last 4 years. One of the things we try to clarify in those task orders, especially for the capital improvement projects, as Mr. Wells mentioned, whether it's a lump sum contract amount or it's an hour and not to exceed amount, we invoice as the work is being done. And until either we are issued stop work order from the city to pause those services being performed under that contract, or until the project is complete. And those total amounts are for design phase, which is to scope out the project and design and develop the construction plans and specifications to bid the project out. So those budgets are made up of three phases: design, bidding and contracting, surveying, and construction phase services. And depending on the type of project, for instance, think Parker Street in Barfield, that scope of work requires some geotechnical survey. So that budget also included geotechnical services to pull core samples from the pavement so that we design the project to a pavement spec that would support the load of traffic and the number of the traffic count for that particular area. So those are the things that make up that budget. And the construction phase budget, obviously, that budget is not expended until the project goes to construction. At that point, until then, that piece of the budget is there until then. So if we never go to construction, that part of the budget is never utilized. But we, as part of our task orders, we do provide in that task order project budgets. It outlines the time frame that it takes us to do the design, get feedback from the city. And so, again, I feel confident that those schedules within our task force, we met those schedules. Now, those schedules may not have been as timely as was necessary. And obviously, there would have been some things that if there was brought to our attention, or whether it was or was not, that we could have things that we probably could have done to expedite. There's always room for that, in my opinion. But from a delivery standpoint, I definitely feel that we've done the things that we felt needed to be done to communicate and collaborate with the cities to meet expectations, to deliver a quality product. But I do know in terms of Chevrolet, that was one thing that the city stated that we wanted to see more of. But I will say that there were some instances, one being the drainage improvement project, where we provided the product, but we were waiting on direction from the city. So those things hindered progress for some of those projects, respectively. And then, like I said, using that one for an example, because that's the one that just comes to mind quickly. It's, budgeting was an issue. We had designed the project, budgeting became an issue, and then we identified the MCWI grant, in which we came to the city and presented multiple times, that there was a grant program to fund this project. And the first round, the city decided not to go for that round. So it wasn't until the second round that we went for that funding, which we were successful, thankfully. And so now that project is moving forward, but we lost several months to get that project to construction for that reason. That's just one example. Soldier College Road, I recall that we designed, once we completed design for that project, if necessary, I'll be glad to go back and put a specific timeline together for each one of these projects, where the city can compare that to the schedule that was in the task orders that were authorized. that's another project where I recall, as we completed the design for each one of these projects, we come before the board, the mayor's board, to say, this project is now ready to go to construction, and we request the city to take under advisement to advertise for bids. But time would go by before we would get that authorization to move forward to bid. And the bidding process, to bid, public bidding process, and to execute contracts, I mean, that's 60 days, easy right there, once you start that process. So I say all that to say, you know, there may be some specific things that we missed, that we could have, that the city feels that we could have done differently. Respect that. We'd definitely like to know what those specific things are, in addition to what's been said now. You know, I always feel there's always room for improvement. I won't deny that. But I do feel very confident, we'll stand here and say that I definitely feel that in terms of meeting our obligations within our task force, that we've done that, you know, based on those schedules. But again, if the city so desires, we'll be glad to put together a specific milestone timeline to show you, you know, beginning to where we are today. And some of that we've done part of that with the quarterly engineering reports that we've submitted and that we presented. We handed out hard copies and we talked through that with you all. So that information is in that also. But again, we'll be glad to further refine that and present that at the next board meeting or email it out to you all, whatever you need necessary.
Well, let me say this. I think one of the issues also here 23 alone, I believe, 23, this is now 24. I think we're up to, what are we up to, almost 500,000?
Yeah.
We're almost up to $500,000 in expenditure. And so I think that what's happening is that those of us who begin to look at the costs as it relates to the cost of the task, and of course, you know, other costs. And, you know, which for us, you can't control your costs. That's done by whoever runs the wagon. But we can control our expenditure. I've been a diplomatic, but I learned this from Lafayette. That's possible, so I just wanted to say that. Yes, sir.
And of course, when you and I got here on the Wells, we knew some things before we got here, and we didn't see anything going forward, and nothing but big books that cost the city a lot of money. And there was nothing comprehensive about the books, period. When Wagner did come on, there was somewhat of an instant process of motivation, getting before people, you and I, and the other, our lady Gilpin, and all that. So we got the opportunity to go sit with our senators and congressmen, and that was brought through by Wagner's engineering. Other things, other components, there was once upon a time we were having quarterly luncheons, which we could express and talk about what was going forward. Look, this city's going to grow, whether people believe it or not. We're not going to be a city that's on the bottom that's getting used to being on the bottom. We're going to grow, and with that growth, I think that I know money is the issue right now where we're looking at, but I believe we're paying for some of the finest engineers in the state of Mississippi. And I know I can put a phone call down at any time and just say, look, where are we here? What are we doing? 3 years ago, saying that our sales tax revenue, the goal was to get at $500,000 a month. We're slowly approaching that. With all the stuff that's going on out about that at the medicine. We are sitting in a divine place right now. And sometimes, and I'm not a big sports person, but sometimes I don't believe in changing the rules in the middle of the game. I just don't. Look, I think we as politicians need to stick with people who's gotten us over the troubled waters. And I'm saying the same tune that Aretha Franklin sang. That bridge over the troubled waters will still be roaring. But if we got the confidence, the motivation, and the consistency that goes along with this, I think we're better off than anything. I think we knew that we know that in any profession, it comes with a cost. We made Dr. Trude the physician of the city, it's gonna be out of the, we'll be dealing with that. So, I know that some things are slow, but even like the wheels of justice, they roll slowly, but they roll. And I think when we look at components of what we've gotten thus far, I know we got bills, but we also have motivation that these things are gonna change. At Ward 5 meetings, I don't get anybody to senior citizens. And I think they bought into the idea that somebody's come before them and said, real change is coming. And I heard the jest in the audience, but we gotta be patient with it too. Even from a biblical standpoint, patience is virtuous. So I hope we can take it under consideration. We may have to call on you more to point things out, where you've been, where you are, and what's the plan going forward. We need that, especially from a person who is not mathematically oriented. But I sit with someone who is. May I disagree with her? She may disagree with me. But then the only thing I have for her is, like I tell the mayor, you don't have a vote in the matter. We do. So, that's the only thing you can be out here.
Not the way.
But, it deals me out. It's a winning argument. It's a winning closing argument. So, but, I just want to compliment you off what you're doing. When we call on you, you come. That's almost rare in today's business concepts. So, Alderman Wells and I often disagree. We often, when it comes to money, we always disagree. So, hopefully we'll be able to hammer out some justice in this, and we'll go forward.
Yeah.
Well, and I will say, we welcome, we received the compliments and the constructive criticism. I heard one thing that was said about, the city's budget. But we don't have insight on the city's budget, nor are we looking to have insight on the city's budget. That's not our role.
That's right.
But when something is brought before us in terms of a need, and we prepare a task for it, and we present it, and it's approved, that's our charge forward. Not knowing what your budget status is. But I will say, if we can, and we've talked about this before, but if there is any way that we can help support your budget planning process in terms of engineering services, I do know that's something that we did a couple of years ago, where we kind of in advance identified some projects that the city was considering doing, and we went ahead and tied preliminary budgets to that to use for you to budget for your upcoming fiscal year. So if that's something we can do, that's something that we can do to help you in terms of kind of, planning that process from a budget standpoint. But I know that's something we have talked about, something that we submitted to the city in the past, to assist with that. So.
And Mayor, keep in mind, there are 3 entities in the city of Canton that are utilizing the same engineering services, which puts us at an advantage. Board of Supervisors utilize Wagner's Engineering. CMU utilizes Wagner's Engineering. And I think from a financial standpoint, we're probably better off than CMU is right now. So, with that being said, if it's not broken, I don't think we need to be fixing it. But I only have 1/7 of the vote. And if the board decides to go in a different direction, I'll understand it. But I think they all know that I will fight for what I believe is right. We got these things going, and even to some degree, I think Makita is utilizing, Wagons Engineering, so we can stay afloat. When we go to these watershed meetings, we're able to pull them to the side and talk about Canton, not just Madison County. Because to some degree, if we don't speak up over the watershed meetings, we're gonna be left out of all that money that they're trying to do things with. And I constantly say this to both Paul and Carl. So, but we have an upper hand, into the window of opportunity and conversation. And I think if we can comprehend it and go forth with it, I think we're gonna be better off. I know Alderman Will's gonna discuss, and I'm gonna discuss this later on, but, I stand steadfast with what y'all are doing in this particular point. And I digress. I won't say another thing the rest of the
All right,
meeting.
thank you very much. Let me say that. We're on item.
Thank you, Mr. Garrett.
I'm on with
Thank
you.
you. What's the?
That's good.
We're on item 9, 10, 11.
Thank you.
Is that right?
We did, we done that already.
Okay,
Yeah, we
thanks.
did 9, 10, and 11.
So let's take item 11A, clean up the liquor.
Okay, 11.
That's where they set me down. You know, when you lose one ability, other abilities get stronger, so I hear very well.
Should be,
Clean up the liquor. What's the
because
motion?
A would be the original motion.
Ma'am?
The original number 11 would be 11A.
No, 11A. There's another one, 11B, which is TWA.
So he just said let it down, they guys separate, and then call A, B, and C, that's what he said.
Okay.
Okay, so what's B?
B is the TWL.
Okay,
You got C on there too then.
11A is clean up the liquor.
are we bundling them, or are we gonna separate?
Well, you can do, let's do 11A separately, we're
Okay.
working on that.
All right.
And that was another one,
Roger
11C, which is Roger Dash.
Roger that.
Unless you wanna,
No, I'm gonna give you a motion on.
Yes, sir.
Clean up, Mayor, a motion that, we accept the quote, from Clean Up for coastal to pressure wash. City Hall, the building at City Hall along with the sidewalks, $2,000.
do you have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Well,
Here we are. Say,
Come on,
I'm working on this.
let's step down.
Oh, I didn't do it. Tim Taylor name.
motion carried. We got for Lonnie.
Oh, okay.
Continue giving it TWL, that's 11B.
Yes, 11B.
How you wanna stop?
I want to approve, building and zoning to contact the owners of TWL to, cut the grass and remove the debris.
You writing it down like that? Contact the owner.
Contact the owners of
Three.
TWL to cut grass and remove debris from the.
You said remove the building?
That would work, that would be great, operational.
got the grass and remove the debris.
Oh, 'cause she said remove the bridge.
They said remove the building.
That's what the motion should have been.
Yeah, correct.
That's gonna be my next move.
Do you have a second?
Second,
All in favor?
Guilty, aye.
well,
Tim Taylor,
This is a motion to remove the, Alderman Penn. TWL. Oh, yes. Cut the drag on, remove the debris.
yeah.
What did he say?
Aye.
Motion carried. 11C, Alderman Wells.
11.
That's Dan.
Right, to, authorize the city to, have Roger Dab Chevrolet as a vendor for the city of Canton.
So,
I'll second. With an unreadness.
What is it in readiness?
Yeah, is Chief Brown here? Who left out? Go forward.
Nobody yet.
I motion
I second the number.
All in favor?
Gary, I,
Wells,
Tim Taylor.
Yeah.
Motion carried. Dr. Anderson, can you go ahead and do 12, 13, and 14? If there's no resistance.
Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
if I may.
Yeah.
Can she do number 12 by itself, because 13, 14, 15.
12 by itself, that's fine.
13, 14, 15, 16, all belong to the fire station.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, number 12,
She can do 12 by itself.
consideration for the mayor and board of aldermen to execute the MOU, extending the funds obligation deadline of the MCDI funds for the city of Canton drainage improvement project.
Mayor, motion we, accept, approve item 12 as, read and ready.
Second,
All in favor?
Gary, I.
Wells,
Tim Taylor.
Can't.
Who does that
Three. Oh, he.
vote? Okay, motion carried.
I thought.
Alderman, okay. Item 13, 14, 15, 16, Dr. Anderson.
Okay, 13, consideration and approval of the 2024-2026 contract for fire protection services between Central Madison County Fire Protection District and the city of Canton, Mississippi, Texas. 14, consider and approve the purchase of a D-series camper for Rescue 21 in the amount of $3,000. Item 15, consider and approve transfer $13,320.40 from the fire rebate account to general fund to cover the balance for the purchase of a personal protective gear, turnout gear. And number 16, consider and approve using the PO or means of payment for the fire turnout gear in the amount of $149,120.
Do we have a motion?
Mayor, motion that we, accept items 13 through 16, that's read and read.
Do we have a second?
Second, with the unread.
And I have not read
There's
it.
a second with an unreadness. The chair recognizes Alderman Guilty,
My
followed by Alderman Taylor.
unreadness, goes with number 16, as we stated, last night. Can you include, in the language of which the $13,320.40 is included into that, 149,000? That's self-amount.
So this is the same thing?
No.
One is for transferring from the fire rebate.
The $149,000 has the $13,000 already included in, so it won't look like it's
Oh, it
the
does.
149 plus the 13.
Gotcha. So we need to eliminate one?
No,
No.
we're just gonna put in there
Okay, I see.
that is in the 103%.
And will that say contract price? I think I.
Yes, it's on there for yes.
You know, that's the grant, that they have for the turnout.
Right.
Okay, that's right.
And, one of those is, really based on the, statement that, our lady Gilby gave.
So 149, we take out the fire rebate.
Yeah,
right.
Okay.
Unless, Chief, you got something to say?
No.
I'm aware.
The mayor doesn't want to hear, I want to hear you.
Who made the motion? And who did the second? All in favor?
Guilty act.
Tim Taylor.
Wells,
Can't.
Is that it?
Yes.
Motion carried. For the rest of item 17, 18, and 19.
17 reads, consider and approve garbage cart specifications for bidding. 18 reads, consider and approve concrete solution proposal of $30,420 for concrete work needed in Canton City Cemetery and Initial Birth Cemetery.
19.
Consider and approve Environment Master's HVAC plan maintenance for the heating and air conditioning system at City Hall in the amount of $636.49 quarterly.
Do we have a motion?
Mayor, motion that we accept item 17 through 19 as read and written.
Do we have a second?
I have a second with the unreadness.
There's a second with an unreadness.
Yeah.
I have no readiness on
There's an
that.
unreadness protocol.
So what's the maintenance contract as we speak, or do we have? We don't have one? All right, my readiness is in.
The maintenance contract for which one, hold on, Jeff?
The HVAC.
And our planters.
Yeah.
Okay,
That was, I had unreadiness also, Mayor.
Yeah.
yes, sir, go ahead.
So, two things. What is our, how are we warranted right now since we just,
It's in here. I'll get a copy of
I started, it says, okay, 1 year parts and labor. Yeah.
5 years for the compressor.
Right, so, actually, well, we're fine getting it now, but will that 1 year include his inspections or?
That'll exclude whatever's covered.
Okay, that's, okay.
Let me ask a question before the vote takes place, and that is, concrete solutions, where are they?
Concrete solutions.
That's Mr.
And-
Oh, okay, yes,
That's where?
Goodluck. Marcus Goodluck, Marcus?
yes, Mr. Marcus is on.
Well, let me ask that one. Did Mr. Blackman know about this? Not Ed Blackman, the other Blackman.
The concrete, yeah.
She's talking Mr. Floyd, like,
Floyd Blackman and Canton Concrete,
There is a second quote for 40,000.
or they did the submit quote?
There's a second quote.
Oh, I was, okay, all right.
but it needs to say, Mayor, that, put the placement of curbs in those areas.
Sir,
Placement of curbs in the cemetery with the new roads.
okay,
Yeah, they're putting curbs in those areas.
Replacement of curbs.
that's what you added?
Right. Because those curbs help them to identify, they got pins there, but they can mark that curb now.
Hey, you wanna reread the motion then?
Well, I just put in percent,
You just put it in
behind
there.
concrete work, the placement of curbs.
Yes.
To identify what they're working.
To identify, you know, where you're grading, that's why that curb is so necessary.
All right, who did the second?
Alderman Taylor.
Okay.
Okay.
All in favor?
Now I'm ready. Okay. All right. Wales, aye.
Jerry, aye.
I'm saying,
Motion carried.
Let's go ahead.
Motion carried. As it relates to item 20, you will have a motion.
Mayor, I want you that we, accept item number 20 read and written.
Do we have a second?
Second one, unreadness.
There's a second one, the unreadiness, please state your unreadiness.
There's a line that, it says from times of, and there's a line. I prefer that we not have the line, but we have the times listed, so we won't have.
Yeah, I called her today, she hadn't returned my call yet.
Oh, what, I think
Liability insurance.
6 to 8, I believe from 6 to 8.
Probably from the time of September to October.
Right, you know, I think she said from like 6 to 8 or 8:30.
Okay, that's good.
Who is Dr. Latanya Lewis with the Mississippi Development Board.
You wanna find that out?
I called her.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what she said, yeah. I think she said 6 to 8 or 8:30, but verify that with her.
we're gonna be teaching courses.
They're gonna be teaching, already trades, plumbing, electrical, teaching guys how to become certified, help them get certified, how to set up a business.
That's under Amazon.
Ms. Davis.
Yes, sir. That's what
You
she
know what time of
said.
day you know the time of day she used the facility?
Oh, well, it's most likely, As last time, from 8 o'clock, it's not gonna be in the evening now?
It's gonna be an evening, yeah.
It's gonna be in the evening, okay.
6 to 8 or 8:30, something she said.
6 to 8, okay.
Yeah.
If we prepare from, we have, voters gonna be in, voters education gonna be on that Monday, they're coming in on that Tuesday, on my calendar.
So I just feel 6 to 8:30 on Friday.
Yeah, and she can verify that. I think that's what she told me.
Alright.
With the, also her getting her liability
Right,
insurance.
she's right. She's
With
gonna make sure she.
with her getting the sign, once she gets contract, making sure she getting a liability insurance holding the city can, okay?
Okay.
So clerk Anderson, when you talk to her, you make sure she gets.
Who made the motion on that?
Alderman Webb,
And
Who did the second?
Alderman Hill.
I want to give her,
All in favor?
Wells,
To Taylor.
Escalade.
Motion carried. As it relates to item 21 and 22. Well, I said 21.
21, I make a motion.
Who made the second?
I second
What is the amount?
What was the number of years in the sun?
Huh?
You have to be with contract.
Yeah,
Okay, we just voted to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Use the funds.
Can I suggest that you do a resolution like we should have in like the whole ARPA? And I broke it down as far as expenditures. We could next meeting, especially if you don't know how much to be this time.
Yeah, as we, get the amounts out, it was you to do the resolution.
Yeah,
As we get the amounts for the work,
yeah, you
because we
have
probably
to,
get some people.
yeah, like the proposed budget. How much-
Well, what you're saying is, go
It's
there on
gonna be
the,
able
on
to use the
the
funds,
motion.
and as we find out
Okay.
what they're gonna do.
Do the resolution for that.
But, yeah,
Yeah, as far as all the ARPAs.
Okay.
so what we need to do is take care, wait till we get a resolution on this. We may have some other things, we gotta obligate, that those monies too, and maybe we can do it all in that resolution.
but I guess,
You can, I mean, can.
Yeah, let's just keep doing resolution, let's get together and decide what other project we want to do out, as you all get the cost.
yeah, the only thing we were saying was to do these, revitalization efforts, it may not be the same person. We may have one person that paints,
Alright,
somebody
yeah.
else does the roof, somebody else does the floors, it's just the people, it may not be one person.
What-
It- But if we
Community
get one
Center
contract.
Multipurpose Complex is one project.
Yeah, it'd be good if you get one general contract.
Okay.
We need to get one general contract, you don't, for a project that size, you don't need me and all the tail and all that stuff.
Okay.
If all tail is a general contract, he can get all of this stuff and turn it into the mayor to do things.
Gotcha.
Cause otherwise, you have a headache. Somebody said, well, that's not no, yeah, one
All
person.
right, so I think what he is saying is authorize and approve appropriation of the ARPA funds to revitalize the community center multipurpose complex and other projects. We don't know those projects.
We don't,
right?
right. But we need to do like I said, do a resolution to include all of them. They can be working on, what somebody's telling them to do those things, but we need to, come back and just do a resolution to include the other things that we can, use monies on. Yeah, cause Mr. Davis.
I think, you know, once we do this, basically what's called either a punch list or something of that nature.
Yeah.
What, in the resolution, and then they will be able to, so everybody know what expected from the punch list or the specs, however we draw it up, make sure we do it like that.
And we need to do a punch list. You parked already?
Yeah, I can go at that part as far as my first complex, but what I'm saying now, I think when you combining the, to get a general contractor to perform the task due on this work order, I think, you know, that's where I'm in that part.
Okay, yeah. You need a general person, you know.
Yes,
You get somebody that's just gonna be responsible.
And then once you do that, once you give them that task order, hey, this is it. And then, time will begin and it, complete.
That's right, but you need to do the punch list. You parked already.
I hear you talking.
Yeah, and Mayor, for me, I know I don't have any ratings.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to add this to it, based on a conversation in the past with Ms. Joy Gordon and Camp Tourism. That was something that was thrown out there about purchasing the community center and renaming it the Sister Thea Bowman Center. I don't know if she's made that contact with you, but there was some language used in a discussion, maybe 6 months ago. And I don't know if we need to entertain that again, ask Ms. Gordon to come over, or we go to her and just see where they are with this particular project. And if it is a project that's go, I hope the city will consider it, because based on the work that Ms. Bowman did, Sister Bowman did in the late 60s and 70s before death, I don't think there's anything in the city that recognizes her work other than her home on, is that Hill Street? Other than over on Hill Street. And a lot of people don't even know who Sister Thea Bowman was. So I hope we can take up that conversation with Camp Tourism and Joanne Gordon at some point before we dive into putting money into it.
Talking with Ms. Gordon
Just-
earlier today,
Right.
she's in the process of working on a movie. She needs to use the community center. I'm texting her right now. She will be back for texting now. She will be approaching you guys. She's trying to, she met with the guy today. What's the process for securing the community center for this movie? She's in the process right now, trying to pin a movie to come to do some work with Canton now.
So the movie's coming, they may fix it.
That's true.
A movie.
Yes,
Because inside
Yeah,
the
that's
building,
true.
Well, they want to use inside the community center right there now. This just came up today. How we know, basically, I think we want to work out, get with the attorney on the fees or things of that nature, and the liability and stuff like that. So that's what I'm working with her today. So you guys should be able to talk about that.
Patience.
All we give.
I know we want to honor the life and legacy of people that made valuable contributions to the city. But we also need this for the, we have got to do something for our children.
Let's negotiate with Kent Public Schools and Kent Elementary. That's a vacant, and everything can go on there. That's an incubator to some degree. At one time, they were thinking about selling it to us for $1. I don't know why they backed off. But, you know, when we look at all those classrooms out there, you know, you can have a vision for many businesses going in there, including the Boys and Girls Club, because of that gymnasium down there. And, you know, and I know the mayor as articulate as he is, he can talk to Dr. Hannah. And we can see what we can do, because that is the setting of a school. Then you got the playground. And I can remember it was in '69, I was out there many years ago. But, I mean, it's just a building going to waste. I don't think there's any asbestos in it. But either or, if there, you know, as long as we do something and don't continue to let this stuff dilapidate.
Yeah, because
We hadn't decided.
Are you talking about the Canton Elementary?
Kent Elementary,
We
yeah.
hadn't decided.
Yeah, the idea.
now, we don't, I mean, they're not getting within this, still.
The idea
We need to, we
for
need
Canton
to.
Elementary is for them to convert.
We don't want to
it
say
to
everything we get.
No, but again, going back, when you read the historical timelines in the city of Canton, this is one of the only people who is not recognized. And my grandchildren, your grandchildren, may not even know who this person is. And all of a sudden, one day she gets the sainthood from the Catholic Church, and she's writing from Canton. Most of us are going to be dumbfounded.
Right.
Because we didn't put forth the urgency to make the awareness.
So,
I gotta say something. I gotta say something.
Are you know?
No,
No, she can speak.
Mayor,
Yeah.
I
You
believe-
gotta pull up here, come to the podium.
I know I can shut up the whole time. The Holy Child Jesus Catholic Church is, I believe, planning to have a memorial built for Sister Thea Bowman. And I don't know the details, but I think it's gonna be a pretty big thing.
Okay.
Just thought I'd tell you.
Thank you.
It's good to know.
Mr.
Yeah.
Mike,
Yes, sir.
Freddie, the flip, how we gonna call him, he said, hey,
My question is, why would we consider studying the community center? No, it can be a community center in Florida County for, I don't know how to, why would we consider sending it to someone else and not, ratified it for the county? Because we used to have regular hours, we used to have, there's so much going on in the community center for the county, they can use money. So why would we set it and not reevaluate it and to make money for the county?
But the idea of selling it is not final.
No, it's
I
just
know,
discussion.
I know, but I know there's discussion, why would we, well, why would we adjust it and can make money off of it?
When the last time they had a record?
When last time, can
I just asked my
promote,
question.
when last time can promote themselves?
Oh, when was the last time they had a record? You brought
When
up
last
record.
time, last time, I wouldn't have to do it.
Okay.
But when the last time can done something to support the community center?
When you sit in these seats, you have to think about cost and utilization.
But
And
when
if
the
you
last
can't
time
afford it, if you can't afford it,
can you afford it?
yeah, you gotta do something. And I don't know what we may get out of this. It may be a lease deal. It may be, but we got to talk about these things instead of just letting them go dormant.
I know,
We
but,
got to.
but you let it went dormant and not promote it.
Well, I think the idea here is to indeed revitalize it.
Right.
And promote it.
Now-
Certainly in its present state.
We need to promote it.
It's not in a promotional state, but
Right.
the idea, there were those of us who actually went over there, including Mr. Amos and Dr. Anderson. I was late, we were over there, and we looked at it, and there are certain things that it needs in order to be, one, rehabilitated and have it. So I think we're going in the right direction. I think the intent was basically send someone over there to get some kind of an idea, as well as the cost to actually revitalize it, as well as the multi-purpose complex. While we're ready to have these other projects. But hopefully, whatever the board decides, I know that, the revitalization, resurrection of it will take place. That is the intent to such an extent that it can be used for progressive purpose. And with that said,
And keep in mind, Mayor, at least 10 years ago, and I want to say his name was Attorney David Nutt, he donated $500,000,
yeah, I remember that.
$500,000 to that particular building in the Boys and Girls Club. And here we are 10 years later, right back in despair. So what does that tell us? We can't afford the upkeep on it. I mean, we can dig and we got the ARPA money, but where will we be in the next 10 years? $500,000 and asking nothing on the return of investment. I think that's a heck of a lot of money for an outsider to give to this particular city. And we did absolutely nothing with it. We didn't make anything off it. Boys and girls, they're maybe a non-profit, but you have to pay to utilize that. And some of our parents were saying they can't afford that amount of money every month. So we have to look at it holistically and with an educated eye as to what's good to let go, and sometimes we have to love enough to let go. Or what do we keep? I think the alternative in support of all Lady Gilkey is to look at the old Canton Elementary building, a building that was built in the 60s and is still in pretty good shape. And I think with all those old classrooms out there, and I know we're saying, well, you're taking it away from the middle of the town. No, we're trying to get the utilization that will best suit our kids with all those rooms that are out there, and including a gymnasium. And that's a nice gym. There's no gym over at the multi-purpose complex. So we got to think about utilization as we go forward.
and let me say this, I think the whole concept here for everyone is to make the community center operationally better, as well as the multi-purpose complex. That's kind of like where we are. And of course, as it relates to obligating ARPA funds. So, does anyone want to make a motion relevant to 21? So we can move on. Well, I give you all the motion. I know I can't make a motion. But the motion also be authorizing approval appropriating ARPA funds to revitalize the community center multi-purpose complex, and other facilities and items of the city of Canton. Is that all right? If not, you can mind back. You can make it more eloquent. But we need to do something, otherwise we're gonna be stuck here.
And you said, and other facilities and what else?
Other projects,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they can be projects,
Other
another,
projects and facilities.
yeah, they can be projects, yes, sir.
We need to do that ASAP because the money's gonna get away, you know, it's gonna, yeah, it has to be documented in the.
Yeah, you don't have to say how much today, right now.
Right.
But the motion will read these two and other projects. A project can be anything. That the board decides.
I don't think we made the.
Sir?
Yeah.
I made the original motion.
Motion, but we need to,
Need to
recess
rescind
or
it.
modify same resolution to include the,
And just to get you made first.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll check that first. And then we'll do a resolution to.
Resolution passes all the ARPA funds and this one too.
All right.
What's the motion again?
That's what I want to know.
Just thank Heather now.
Get down the motion.
She changed the wording too
You're
much.
approving that one, and then you're gonna ratify and do a resolution encompasses all the ARPA expenditures, including the community center.
Right. To include these two.
She'll put it in English for us, so.
Do you have,
Absolutely.
you have that?
Yeah.
So I'll second the mayor.
All in favor?
Yeah, yeah.
Wells,
Let's go on.
Since I like.
Motion carried. Item 22 is speaks for itself. Authorize and approve Glenn Carter repairman of Zoe Johnson's driveway in the amount of $2,000. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Do we have a second? Do we have a second?
I'll second the mayor.
Oh. There's a second by Alderman Wells, looking at that.
Yes, sir. Under this mayor, you know, this particular item was addressed, last night. Former Alderman Gill and Ms. Johnson came before us, and they were inquiring about the, waiver release being signed, and how would that affect what we were doing, because I don't think they've signed it at this point. So, if we authorize him to do the work, and the waiver is not signed, what happens?
What does the waiver
I
say?
guess y'all need to determine, I think y'all said y'all gonna do an executive session,
Yes.
determine if y'all were going to, guess you would determine that first, and then
Okay.
that one we can
Okay.
decide on keeping it or not.
I don't know, man.
So let's move this to executive session.
And but let me ask you before we go there, what is the purpose of the waiver?
That's what I just said.
Y'all requested it.
Yeah.
We did?
I mean, what is its intent is what he's asking.
It's just a waiver of liability.
I know, who does it protect?
City
From what?
liability.
What kind? Injury, fire, tornado, storm? When you say liability, what does that mean?
Can we go off the whole agreement in executive?
Ma'am?
Would you like to go the whole agreement in executive session? I haven't. We can go the whole
Oh, okay,
agreement.
that's fine.
Yeah, because if I'm not mistaken, as far as the liability goes, did she get injured out there? Yeah, so that's gonna throw it way by the window, nobody know with the sign waiver or that.
The waiver protects the city, doesn't protect New Johnson.
Right,
But it was requested to be done, so that's.
okay.
It can always be waived, but she said, you'll put it in executive session.
Okay, so, yeah.
Have we ever done this before?
Now,
I remove my motion.
Okay.
So have we ever done this before?
Don't release this?
Yeah,
Don't release this.
we have. I just think, okay,
yeah.
I'm going to get the rainfall.
All right, let's go ahead and so, we're at, item 24.
So, hold on, Mayor, so if she doesn't sign it, then what?
If she does not sign it, then the city would be, open for whatever liability occurred there. For an example, while carrying it, someone may get a bunch of cement drop on their foot,
All right.
and the city would carry the liability. Somebody may stumble because there might be a bunch of product, cement and stuff out there.
I know we're going into the executive session, but is it okay to ask, our lady guilty what the thoughts are, or is that inappropriate?
And we can talk about it in the
Hey,
executive session. Mainly entails.
Okay. I can't.
Yeah, okay. And the executive session, we communicate everything,
Yeah.
bring out everything, took and open, and
Okay, that's been
for us to
moved.
discuss, because even discussing it may create some liability.
Yes.
So, we just open it to the executive session.
Okay.
All right, 24.
Okay.
24, ladies and gentlemen.
I haven't read all of them yet.
Is he
You
here?
have not read all of the minutes?
No.
If he has not read all of the minutes, and I have not read all of the minutes,
None of us, bro.
none of us have read all of the
Read all of
minutes,
it.
and we don't need to approve this.
Did we go on the first one?
Then we're taking off.
That was on 13.
24 is all.
24.
I think we need to table it.
24 is
next
back
week.
order.
You can tell.
Yep, we can table it till next week and make
Yeah,
sure
yeah,
everybody
we
can
see,
see.
yeah.
All right.
I motion to table it, Mayor.
I
Do
say,
I have an all in favor?
Yeah, that's
Well,
that's all right.
give me more time to talk.
Yeah.
I want to tell you, vote.
Oh, yeah, Tim Taylor, I'm sorry.
Who has not voted?
I was on Blunt,
Yeah, I voted.
right? Okay.
Your motion carried. The consent agenda. We have a motion.
Can I say one thing about item 1?
Yes, ma'am, but let me mention this, before you do that. But did somebody say something about $20 per day for Saul?
On number 2.
Yeah,
That's a hundred grand for the association.
yeah, that's in the, it's gonna be
That's
in
in
the
the
agreement. That's in the agreement.
Okay, that's what you want to do there.
Oh, that's Al.
Attorney Banks is at a point.
Oh, I just want to say, in number 1, there is I didn't have this, I don't know if you've all seen it, there's an agreement or understanding of clients. I think that needs to be spread across your minutes because it has all of the qualifications of the grant, the MOHS 2025 grant, including the allowable expenditures, non-allowable costs, additional items unallowable, lobbying, all your requirements under Title VII, Federal Aid Highway Act, Section 504, Anti-Discrimination, Civil Rights Act, Act 2 and Act 3. And then it talks about, what kind of audit you'll have, as far as the grant is concerned. So I think y'all will need to spread that across your minutes, because it's something you're obligating yourself to, the 31 pages. And I don't know if anybody's.
One of them is safety grant. The safety grant, we didn't have just reduced it. One of them is safety grant, the other one is not. But the, 402, that's a safety grant we pay all the time.
That's a safety grant we pay all the time.
But you still need to.
Yeah.
No, I was addressing, he's asking what kind of grant it is.
And it says the agreement is.
You giving up?
It's due back to September 2nd, 2024, so it's like we have time.
Yeah,
That's gonna be attached
Yeah,
to
that's,
it. Okay. Any other issues with the consent agenda?
so item one, we need to get the documentation before we act on it.
I have the one for the 402, I don't have the 154 alcohol, I don't have that one.
And the, I guess the question is, and those items be added,
It's all in.
Oh, I thought it was.
and those items be added at the next meeting,
Oh, yeah, it says September 2nd too, Mayor.
ma'am?
It has September 2nd too.
Yeah, so we'll add it at the next meeting,
Yeah, September
unless,
2nd.
unless there's a special call meeting. Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna ask that we have a special call meeting, because we don't wanna wait until the next meeting, which is 2 weeks away.
And what date
That'll be
is
the
that?
26th, well, no, that'll be the 20th,
20.
that'll be the 20th.
Yeah.
That only gives us about, approximately 11 days to get a grant completed. And I
So
don't
what's a
think
good
that's-
day?
that's-
It's not awarded.
This is
It's
just,
awarded.
it's been awarded. It's accepted, it's accepted, yeah.
That's just, it's never awarded.
The alcohol grant been awarded? We didn't know about applying for it.
Chief,
The grant has already been awarded.
Yeah, this is just the acceptance with the terms, it's the acceptance
Yeah,
with the
but those
terms.
come close that we applied for.
I don't know, but it's been awarded, she said.
Yeah, but
Can we refuse it?
it's supposed to come across the, you know, it's supposed to come across the minutes that we are applying to apply for a grant.
Well, I think that she actually did that, didn't she?
I'm not, so the second grant is just renewal, but the,
We always
one thing
apply.
for alcohol is new. It's-
Yeah, but the notice spread across the minutes.
Very cheap.
Okay, well, let's find out if there's been authorization to apply and authorization to proceed.
Yeah.
I think that's what all of them will.
Yeah, because you just can't go and bind the city.
In that case, what we can do is vote for everything on the consent agenda except one.
One.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got the September
Yeah,
second,
they-
you're trying to say.
All right, give me a motion.
May I motion that we accept the, consent agenda as read and written excluding, item number one.
All in favor?
I second that.
Have I read it?
What are you doing readiness?
Mayor, we talked about, item 10 last night, the use of, fuel man cards, with employees. This particular employee had an issue where the card was not working, and, Chief reminded us that they, have protocol where they can call, and they will give them a card number to use. But this particular, employee, pays with their own personal monies.
Yes, sir.
But Chief said that they do with that protocol, if you go somewhere and something happens and the card doesn't read, you can call back and they can give you a number, that you can use.
Okay.
And that was a miscellaneous card, so we'll have to talk to him at some point about that quote unquote miscellaneous card.
Do you wanna take 10 out?
No, I'm just saying, he explained that last night,
Okay.
but we need to,
All right.
we'll speak with him, about that miscellaneous part. I'm ready to, resolve.
All in favor?
Guilty, aye.
That's what
Where,
Taylor.
Taylor.
Motion carried. What are we waiting for?
Chief Johnson about.
We can come back to that one later.
Chief Johnson is here.
yeah, we removed it till next time. He can go ahead and tell us what he did.
Sir,
He can make a statement while he's here.
if you make a statement as relates to, this one for alcohol grant. Do you have the agenda, Chief? In front of you, somebody present him with, you'll see.
Chief, the grant, the 154, alcohol grant, the question is whether it was approved to apply for the grant.
Was it approved to apply for it? Are the board asking us that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, no, we never brought it before y'all to apply for the grant, but you know what they do is, every year when we get that safety grant, that's included in there as far as alcohol, DUIs and all that, so we write up what we think we could reach for the next year. And then when we write it up, then we submit it back to them, then they'll send a grant out and saying this how much is the grant.
And this grant here, was that the same grant we were talking about this morning?
Yes.
It's the same one? Okay,
These are the grants that you.
it's the same one, okay. So we just waited for the reimbursement of the grant to come in. Is that right? It's already in.
These are what Asian talking about, Asian.
So,
Oh, okay.
so Mayor,
Yes, sir.
so Chief, all along the safety grant has included the alcohol grant? Or this is the first time we're getting the alcohol grant?
No, it'll be the first time we get an alcohol grant.
Okay.
All that is, it's included in the safety grant, but it'll be the first time that, you know, we can be looking for DUIs and all that. In the past, we've just been doing seatbelt, child restraint, and, speeding.
Okay,
Alcohol went in there.
okay.
I mean, it was some grants with alcohol now, but we wouldn't getting, the alcohol part.
So if these two fall under, they may fall under safety, but if they're under two different grant numbers, what we're saying, we should spread this alcohol grant across the minutes to be applied for and accepted. That's,
I'm saying,
yeah. If they, you know, if they're two different, say this may be grant 5 and that's grant 6. So if they are, we need to, prior to, applying for, even though it's a part of it or umbrella of it, we can accept across our minutes to approve them applying for the alcohol grant portion of the safety grant. Like, since they're separate, you're gonna be separate checks, that's what it says, so you can track it, so we can, since it's done, we just have to, motion to.
and what we'll do is we'll just add another person, 1 or 2 more people to the grant along with the guys that are already there. And they're just out doing alcohol, that's all.
All right.
Sobriety checks.
So that's the one you ready to turn.
I just read I thought they were duplicates, but I see they're both from Mississippi Office Highway Safety, but one is the police traffic services and one is the alcohol grant. I haven't looked at that one.
Okay.
But they both look like they got kind of the same requirements, but I mean, I would think y'all wanna look at requirements if you're being balanced, like CFR. A lot of them some of it has something about federal rules, US 23, chapter 4, Buy America Act. I mean, I'm not familiar with that one, just looking for it too.
Okay.
If y'all wanna agree to, you can, and you have the right to do so, but I would think you want to spread across your minutes with your. I would think so too.
Okay.
Well, it says consent to accept,
Right.
that's about as clear as you can get.
So, you know, we said we moved it until we can read the actual grant stuff.
Because you really spread the, because this is the grant agreement, so
Right.
you'll be signing the grant agreement and submitting it back, so you would really need to just spread the grant
Right.
agreement across.
So it's two different agreements.
It's 2 different grant
Right,
agreements.
okay,
Two
yeah.
different ones, yeah.
2 different grants.
Right, one is alcohol and the other one is.
Yeah.
We've been receiving these grants for how many years now?
Well, we've been getting the safety grant, and we received the next year before years, yeah.
Okay.
And we started with, Ms. Carson got it for us.
Right.
The restriction was with us.
Now I know
You see the long one.
Alright, so what's the motion here?
We're gonna wait till we get the agreement so we can read it and spread it across the.
For number 1,
Right.
okay, so 2 through,
Oh, you done it, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, we already
Yeah.
voted on that.
Take action on number 1.
okay.
Yeah.
So in that case, the mayor will entertain a motion to
Thank you,
go
Chair.
into executive session.
I like to make a motion to do an executive.
Second. All in favor?
Well done.
That's good. And,
I'm sorry.
Oh, please.
Oh, still say that.
Ma'am?
I'm way out of there. Been listening too much precious things.
No,